this is Barbara Michelle, and I am so excited to be here on the Crafty Maven Getaway channel. Today I'm doing a Sketch It Out Thursday video, and you'll have seen at the beginning of this video the inspiration piece for the week and the sketch I'll be using for my layout. The sketch is by Laura Whitaker, and I found it on Pinterest. And the inspiration piece this week has a lot of dark blues and a little bit of tan in it, so those are the colors that some of the colors that I'll be using on my layout. So first I inked up the edges of my photo with some StazOn ink, and then I matted the photo on a red and white striped paper. It was from the Chamel's True Stories paper pad by American Crafts. And I also had a blue polka dot paper on the screen. That's also from the same paper pad. This dark blue paper that I cut the scallops out of, I cut the scallops and then I just trimmed off a small strip and cut it down to size. Or I punched out the scallops. That was a Fiskars punch. Anyways, the paper comes from Dear Lizzie Lucky Charms paper pad. The tan and white stripe paper also comes from the Dear Lizzie Lucky Charms pad. And I'm going to choose one more paper, this red one, again, Dear Lizzie Lucky Charms. I start to glue down the strips, the pattern paper strips, but then I realized that I wanted to ink up the edges of the paper, so that's what I'm doing now. The layout is for, or the pictures that I chose for this layout are for my daughter Emma's 2nd birthday. And she was very much into the Wiggles at that time. That's what her cake, she's eating cake and ice cream in the picture. So here I am just gluing together the strips of pattern paper that I cut. And after I've inked the edges, excuse me. And the red one, I was going to glue that to the others, and then I realized that I needed to put it on the base, or on the big 12 by 12 sheet first, because it's 12 inches long and I needed to go the full length of the sheet. So I put the red one down first, and then I glued the other papers on top of it. And now I was going to put my photos on, and then I realized I never inked the edges of the mat of the photos, so I'm just doing that now before I put those down. That little paper I'm going to cut a fishtail flag from. The paper was just in my scraps, but it comes from that Chamel's True Stories paper pad. And I'm going to make one more flag as well, and I was going to try and use more tan, the tan color, but I end up choosing a floral that has a little bit of yellow in it. The floral comes again from the Chamel True Stories paper pad. And the yellow, I like the yellow that's in the floral, the yellow, the red, because it goes with the Wiggles little car that's in the picture. It was on top of her birthday cake. Okay, so this is just tan paper, and I'm going to make a frame out of it. For the frame, I'll use some Sizzix dies. They're square dies, and one of the dies has a scalloped edge, and one of the dies is just straight edges. So I'm just putting them together to see which ones work best to make the size of a frame that I want. And I just use my Cuttle Bug to cut them out. After I've cut out my frame, I put the pieces on my layout to see how it's coming together, and I decide that I want something more in the background. So I'm going to grab a large stamp. I got it at Tuesday Morning, and it's from the Tattered Angels. It's called Notes from the Garden, and it's a large clear stamp. The stamp set itself, it comes with this thick plastic piece that you can use to stamp it down with, because it is such a large stamp. So I was just placing the stamp on my layout to see where I wanted the design to be, and then I used my picture to know which parts might be covered up. I'm going to ink it up with some Memento ink. It's a little dewdrop ink, and the color is Danube Blue. The first time that I ink it up, I don't do a very good job. I skip some spots, and then when I closed the stamper, I wasn't pressing on all the areas because I just missed some spots. So I will have to ink it up twice. As you could see, a lot of it didn't get on there. But the second time is much better, so it only takes, I inked it up a lot more that time. And when I put the picture down, the parts that are showing look just fine, so I'm done with that. I'm going to clean up my stamp with a baby wipe real quick and use a paper towel to dry it off before I put it away. And then I'm just removing the washi tape from my paper. I used the washi tape to hold it on to the stamper. I just had to be careful when I removed it so I didn't rip the paper. Alright, so now we're back to the layout. And I'm going to glue down the pieces. That flag's fine, but the next flag, the blue flag, it's a little bit too long, as you can see, so I'm just going to trim that down real quick before I stick it on. And I grabbed the wrong frame there. I should have grabbed the one at the top right, and I'll realize that in a minute. But that was just the extra pieces. So here I have the right frame, and I'm just trimming it down to size to fit next to my pictures. Just goes under a little bit. Oh, and I forgot that I wanted to ink it up, so I'm just going to take a minute to do that. It takes a little bit longer because of the little scallops, but I like the way it looks, so it's worth it. And we'll place that down. Then I'm not really sure what I wanted to do next, actually. So I just decided to ink up the edges of the entire layout and give me a little bit of time to figure out what to do next. What I decide to do is add more red to the picture, or to the paper. So I got some chipboard and a stencil, and I cut out this number 2, and I'm going to paint it red with some red acrylic paint. The first paint that I put on, that I squirted out, wasn't quite the right red color, the right color of red. So I got this other one. And after I paint it, I'm going to let it dry off to the side on some wax paper. Alright. Now I'm going back to that same stamp set, that large one from Tattered Angels, and I'm going to put some journaling lines on this extra piece of paper. It was just the inside of that frame, and that's where I'm going to put it. Actually, it's the back of the inside of that frame, so I'm just adding it there. And that number 2 that I painted was dry, so I'm going to put it on with some foam adhesive. Gives it a little, pop it up just a little bit. And now I'm going to do my journaling. The journaling says, Emma's 2nd birthday. She's enjoying her Wiggles cake and ice cream at our house on Patty Ellen. We had just moved to that house a few months before she turned 2, and we have moved again since then, so that's why I put what house we were at. So those are bottle cap stickers. I got them at Hobby Lobby, and I added a clear round epoxy sticker on top of the bottle cap stickers, and it makes them kind of like faux flare. The white one says I love cake, and the red one said make a wish. So somehow my camera was off when I put the letter stickers on, but it just says happy birthday in a line on the left, the upper left corner of my layout. Okay, these little blue stickers I got at Dollar Tree, and they're transparent or translucent, and I just use a couple on my layout, the little rounds, that little round one, and a heart. Okay. I'm going to add another sticker to my layout, a red star. The star stickers are from Chicken Nitty Crafts, and I probably got them at Tuesday Morning as well. And I'm just about done with this layout after I put that sticker on. There'll be some close-ups at the end. I think that's about it. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to check out all the wonderful videos at the Crafty Maven Getaway, and there'll be a link to my channel below. Thanks again.